Hello everybody, welcome to Haus. I'm Rob, and today we are going to go through the Nintendo Direct Pokemon Legends Z-A trailer, and I'm going to point out some of the things that you might have missed. There was a lot of information that was put into this trailer, something that I don't think many of us were expecting after all of the stuff that we got already on Pokemon Day. But before we dive in, I'm going to ask that you guys like and subscribe. Make sure to like so that, you help out the algorithm and you show us that you like these types of videos. Also, make sure to subscribe so that you're not missing out on any new Pokemon content. Also, let me know if you think I missed anything that maybe other people are talking about, because I tried to go through this, take my time, make sure to go through frame by frame, but there's occasionally things that are going to get missed. So let me know about those in the comment section below. But let's hop into it here. We are, just going to kind of go through the trailer. I said, like frame by frame. So, very first thing here already, in case if you missed it, right? Mega Salamence for the first time. I believe this is potentially the first time that we are seeing Altaria as well. A little bit of a surprise for me personally, but we all know that it's likely to be in there because of, it having a Mega Evolution. You can see we were battling on top of a roof as well. So, nothing too crazy here with that. Then we have Draco Meteor, which is the first time that we're seeing that as well. We've got Go-Go and Pinsir. Umbreon, I think we had already seen before, but we see the Pinsir attacking. Big thing here, though, already on a I guess, an important note here is that we do have, the ability, and I'm going to try to highlight these, as best as I can, is the whole thing here. We are inside. This is a big deal. A lot of people were wondering, are you going to be able to be inside? Maybe not all the time, but we are going to be able to be inside at least some of the time. There will be some buildings. This one looks kind of like an abandoned one or maybe a storage facility. I'm thinking potentially, and this is just a theory of mine, the Meowstic that we are seeing here, I believe is the name of the Pokemon. For some reason, I'm, questioning if that's right, but I'm pretty sure it's Meowstic. This looks like maybe Looker's, I guess place, if we want to call it that, his office. We've got like the magnifying glass. This is, the Pokemon, maybe this is Mimi. I doubt that, but, Emma used a Pokemon like this as well. So it's very possible that this could be the case, but just a little bit of an early thing that I believe needed to be pointed out here as we're inside. The next one here is we get Mega Gallade for the very first time. Love that, by the way. It was pretty obvious we were going to get that as well. We get Haunter. They get us ready for Gengar. We're on the roof. You see Noivern for the first time. Not Houndoom for the first time. Dragalgage or Dragalage, whatever you want to, say here, is, shown for the first time. There are rumors that this Pokemon is going to be getting a Mega Evolution, so I think that they show that for a reason. You got Mega Gengar there, Mega Kangaskhan, and then Mega Gyarados. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. All that stuff was great. It kind of got us ready. But, we've seen Pidgey before. We have more of these shops, right? This almost looks like, I'm going to, highlight this as well. This almost looks like a Tatsugiri, potentially. Now, maybe it's just because it kind of looks like a shrimp to me, but that is something that I noticed the first time watching through. It's very likely that it may not actually be Tatsugiri, but, we do not know exactly how far these generations are going, like which Pokemon we're going to see. We know for sure, obviously, up to Gen 6. I don't know if we've seen any Gen 7 Pokemon at this point, but it is certainly, something that we have to kind of keep in mind as we move forward with this, but that's okay. Let's keep going here.
Pokemon Legends Z-A.
So, more of this. We already knew that we could fly kind of like over areas. We got the 3 starters. Nothing crazy new here. I tried looking at these posters. I don't think they're really anything, but you do see, again, that little like, oh, maybe that was too small. Sorry, guys. But this, little like looker / magnifying glass symbol again. I don't know if that's going to mean anything, but it could. It might be just Quasartico's, boxes or something like that. You got Eating with, no-eyed Chikorita there for a second. Nothing here with the Tepig that I could find. Nothing really here with Totodile either. Nothing crazy, at least. Then you've got the Sligu right there, or the Gumi, excuse me, right there with the cafe. I think the cafes are going to play a pretty major part in this game. I'll explain why here a little bit later. We've also got the taxis are back for sure. This might be the way that we get around the city a little bit easier. And then we've get, you know, nothing too crazy here. You can see up in the top right, you know, kind of the green area. So this is a wild zone here. I'm sure if we were to place the map over it, we'd have a better idea of kind of which wild zone that might be. You can see kind of the construction that is getting done down here by Quesartico. And, you know, that's really about it on this one. Nothing too crazy, like I said,
Pokemon
here.
X and Pokemon Y games.
Now, again, I think that this is probably somewhere in here in this area. I think that we were looking down kind of the main boulevard. So, you know, when we talk about the map here, you know, just kind of the way things are looking, you've got that green building right there. So I think it might be, you know, one of these green buildings potentially. But it seems like it's very clearly, because they kind of coordinated in terms of colors, right? You've got the green area here, the blue one here, the red one here, the pink one here, and then the yellow one here. So it's split up into the 5 different sections of Lumiose City. You know, and like I said, I think that we are in that, you know, somewhere on this boulevard. You know, I guess maybe we could check to see where the trees are. Sorry, using my tool here. So the trees are on that left side there, but they're not on the right. It looks like you can actually see them further down here. So it looks like we're a little bit further up at this point. So I would even say potentially like right here. I guess, again, trying to use my tool more often. So like right around in that area, basically, it's kind of where we're looking. If you haven't seen, we did do a breakdown on the channel of this map. This has been known for a little while, but they showed it for the first time during this trailer. We finally get the elemental monkeys for the very first time, which is obviously great. You know, this is Pansear, I believe. Yeah, I'm like 99% sure. You can see some trainers kind of in the background here. I'm curious about this guy as well. We've seen him in front of the Pokemon Center, so you can tell this is the Pokemon Center with the potion, the super potion up here. And then it almost looks like it is a Fletchinder potentially on this guy's back here. I don't know if it's just a delivery service or if that's going to be how we fly, but this is, I think, an important little part here. Just to kind of keep in mind,
for people and
we see a Mulga for the first time as well, which is great. We already knew Dedenne was going to be in the game. Here's Quesartico at a different angle. Nothing crazy there. Okay, you can see a Roserade down here for the first time. You know, more of the hollow people, however you want to call it. You know, there's Skidoo, not Go-Go, but Skidoo. So pretty cool stuff. You got another Eevee. A Vaporeon, a Houndour for the first time. Well, not the first time, but another Houndour. Malamar shows up for the first time. This one is down, you know, kind of on the docks, like in the little not ravine area, like the river area. So I wonder if those will head into the sewers. We've got Espeon here, so we're getting more and more of the Eevees running around. I think that's just a good way for them to kind of point that out. This is where... what is Panpour? Panpour is up here as well. A lot of people were wondering because we see Pansage and Pansear pretty obviously. Panpour is just up here chilling, you know, not doing anything crazy, but just kind of doing its own thing up there. But then, yeah, they go into the wild areas. So this is the second wild area, and I will say, or the wild zone. This one's directly in the middle. If we look at that map here, let me bring us back here real quick. So this one looks like it's going to be probably, I'm not going to say for sure, it looks like it's going to be here, I think. It's one of these, like, you know, little circular areas. Let me go back and look real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is the one that has the grass and the trees all around it with the water more in the middle with like the bridges. I think it's this one. So like I believe that this is going to be kind of our starting area right here. You will notice as well, this is kind of the area that is showing us. So that'll be the second wild area, because we know the first one is kind of, again, sorry, keep getting off this tool, is in this area-ish, somewhere around here. Okay, so let's continue on here. Nothing too crazy. We get Binnacle for the first time as well. There have been rumors about that getting a Mega Evolution. Slowpoke, we know Mega Slowbro will be in the game. Staryu, rumors of a Mega Starmie as well. Heracross and Pinsir, 2 Megas. Pretty cool. I love the little addition here of them cutting down the tree. Patrat is going to be available. We already knew this, but for the first time. And one of the things I wanted to point out here... Oops, sorry. Got that. Yeah, this is why I don't love doing that. But okay, sorry. So you can see kind of these headstones. I don't know if that's a Flapple or not. It kind of looks like one, but I'm not 100% sure. You got the Spinarak on this kind of ghostly area. This is... obviously a wild zone. You can kind of see, obviously, the green stuff all around there. But this cemetery, I think, is going to be a really interesting early game area. I think you're going to be able to find some ghost Pokemon very early in the game, which I personally like. They probably want to get you that Mega Gengar as soon as possible. You can see up here as well, right? And we'll point out this, but this whole circular thing is going to be how you tell the time of day, right? So this is in like the late-ish afternoon area or time. You can also see that we can fly or travel to the middle of this area potentially, or at least to the outskirts, depending on where you need. But this is obviously a very early part of the game. I want to point out again here the pizza slice, right? So I talked about these areas earlier on. There are 5 different areas, zones that have been, put into the game here. So this confirms that we are in that area that I was talking about, in that plaza that they've clearly redone, because it used to not really be like this. And they've expanded it. Obviously, it's a much bigger plaza than it was before, but you got that big area here, which I'm pretty happy about. You see that they bring back the Pokemon. I have a theory on this as well. I think that this is the likelihood that you can catch the Pokemon based on the level and the type of Pokeball that you have out to be used. I don't really think I've seen anybody talk about that, but that was just kind of a theory that I had here. You can see just the catch. There's a Magikarp even just flopping around there. Then you got the Karukaruk here. We've got the stall here, which is going to be interesting. Are we going to be able to buy items and stuff while we are in these wild areas? Again, this is, I think, the 8th one. It looks like another plaza here. It doesn't look like you can fly to that one yet. Maybe they haven't gotten through the middle of it, or maybe there's like some sort of way that you have to, complete something or be able to, fly at some certain point, because earlier you saw we had lower level Pokemon could get to that second area. This is the wild area 8, it looks like. Your Pokemon are around level 20, which is interesting here. Fletchinder hasn't evolved into Talonflame yet, but it doesn't look like this person's Magikarp has either, but you got the Ariados, the Sweepa. And then you have this up here, which is showing you if you are in danger, similar to how we kind of saw it in Legends Arceus, right? You can dodge stuff by just running away from it. I want to go back here really quickly. You can see as well. Come on. No, go back.
Safety.
Okay, so you can see like we've got another shop out here. You've got 2 of them. Like I said, I don't know if maybe it's like you clear the wild area and these become more open, because there's nobody there is the reason why I'm questioning it. And clearly the wild areas can't be all day, otherwise that wouldn't really make much sense for, the kind of areas that we're in. We've got way more shops here. This time you can see there are people right in these shops here. So it feels like there's going to be, they're really building out kind of this ability to shop and spend your money in different ways, as they've been doing, I think, for a while now, personally. You got the Meowstic down here again. The, gosh, I can't even remember the name of it right now. Spinarak, there we go. The Floette, the Flabebe, all that stuff. We already knew that you could go to the rooftop, so nothing crazy here, but they do confirm, by the way, there are wild Pokemon outside of the wild areas, so you don't see anything green in these areas. and you can sneak up on Pokemon again, as obviously you can't really tell. And then it turns around the day-to-day. Love the graphics there for that Steelix. I thought looked great. But then we're going to get some crazy stuff here right
when night falls.
Now. So you could already see here, we'll talk about it in a second, but these red areas, that's what they're about to go through here. So there are a lot of them.
The city's aura transforms. Highly skilled trainers are invited to participate in a tournament. The Z-A
And this is
Royale.
what we've been looking for. So, the Z-A Royale. Now, if you remember, this kind of thing showed up at the end of the trailers on Pokemon Day. The Z-A Royale. I am wondering, is this what the game is being named after? Is this the main big part of the story? It feels like it will be, along with, the actual story. But I mean, like in Legends Arceus, right, it was about putting together the Pokedex, right, and different quests for that. This time, it's more about the battling, which I think a lot of people are going to be very happy about, and some quests around that you can see here, right? So we do have Pansage for the first time here. You got a Litleo here. What is interesting is a few things on this one. So 0 wins. So you're stepping into this area for the first time. This looks like a low-level area. We'll see that in a second, but there's a win tracker of some kind for these areas. You also have a new currency here for gold. How that's spent, what that is spent on, we don't really know. And then tickets as well, or getting a ticket more specifically, is something that we will talk about here at some point, because there's a little bit more to go over. The last thing I want to point out with this one is you can clearly see wild area, battle area. They don't necessarily have to be the same. They are right next to each other, and it looks like you can probably do both. And I'm sure that there will be different wild Pokemon at night in the wild area. But again, this is very early on in the game, very clearly. And I think it's important because initially I thought, oh, they're turning the wild areas into these battle areas. No, most of the city is either going to be a wild area or a battle area. So pretty crazy when you think about that. There's a lot of different areas for it, right? And so they brought back the being seen, I guess, by the trainers. So it's no longer like it was in Scarlet and Violet, where you had to go talk to the trainer if you actually wanted to battle them. If you get in their sight lines, right, as he shows here, this big thing again, similarly to what we saw with, the wild Pokemon, then you're going to get caught. Essentially, you gotta battle. Along with this, right, and I think that this is an important shot here. You can fly to these areas at night. Again, you can see the sort of green area down here, and a much bigger red area. So a lot of buildings and stuff like that. There will be apparently a lot of trainers. And then you got the cafe that you can travel or fly to. And that's where I'm thinking these cafes may be just points where you can get to in the city at different stops. They may play a bigger role. They played a pretty big role in the past. I also want to point out the last big thing here is the cycle of time. Again, it was that blue or green color before. Now it's red. You could see how long, it's like real time essentially, with how long you are going to be able to do these sort of night battles. So we will finally get to see exactly how long everything is going. Whether it will be attached to our real time, I don't know. Like, in terms of, I can't imagine it's going to be that if you're playing this game overnight, that it's going to be 12 hours of, time for you to do this. I would have to think that there will be some sort of internal clock. Maybe, each one is a half an hour or an hour long, for day and for night, maybe longer or shorter. I don't really know how that's going to work, but obviously the day-night cycle is going to be very important in this game. So we continue on here.
They'll challenge you to battle.
I think that this is good stuff. Nothing too crazy here with the battling. We get another really big one here, so we can see that you've gotten 3 wins in this area so far. You have your rank D opponent. What I found to be interesting about this one is you could see her name, you could see the rank D. I'm wondering if there's something that you get, some sort of tool that you can get in the game later on that allows you to see what rank these people are. I mean, you can even see what level the Florges is, right, before you get into the battle. Again, over here, you can see it's gotten later into the game. You can travel No surprises there. Also, 212 coins. What those are used for, we don't know. 4,300 out of 3,800. There's a lot of battling that is going to have to be done here. But I think that is absolutely worth noting. The last thing that I've noticed that I thought was interesting, this yellow sort of, I don't know, aura, like area, right? I don't know if it's just the red and the green combining, right? Because you can kind of see, you know, obviously you got the green here, you got the red here. So maybe it's just a combination of the both, or maybe it's a completely new area. So we're going to have a red, green, and a yellow area. What that's for, I can't really tell personally. I think the more and more that I've looked at it, I think you can kind of see the green, the red, and then it's just a combo of the yellow in the middle. But I could end up being wrong on that one, and it is a new area. I remember, you know, Connor and I put out a video similar, you know, talking about the Z-A Royale, and I thought maybe that this is a totally new area. But, you know, when I look back on this video, in this other area, you can kind of see that the red and the green are creating this yellow color where they're overlapping. So it may not necessarily be a new area, but that's okay. One other thing that we're going to notice, so this is a pretty important shot here, not this one, but this one. Crazy important. So you can see what moves are going to be effective, right? So Fairy Pokemon, Dragon Pulse isn't going to work. Flash Cannon, though, for the Steel is going to do a lot of damage, right? So you can see what's going to be effective, not very effective, right, for the fighting move here. Normally effective with Ground. I love that they did this. I think that was a really smart choice of them. Also, you're going to see here, so you got the little C+ next to these moves. I think that's as your Pokemon matures and gets better, they'll be able to use those moves. We'll talk about the Diggersby, you know, controversy. I don't know, everybody's talking about it right now, but I think that there's a reason not to. Also, there have been rumors that Victory Bell would have a Mega form, Mega Evolution. We saw a Bellsprout earlier. This trainer is also using a Victory Bell. So crazy stuff here, but I want you guys to watch down here as this Lucario attacks.
Strike first before being...
So you can strike first, which is cool. And you can see the command, we talked about this in another video, but you can see the command down here, right, being given as he's getting ready to attack. So I think that's going to have to do with timing, spacing as well, because all the moves now, right, they have a length attached to them so that you can dodge stuff. But as you see as well, this little meter goes up as Lucario is attacking, and that's, it seems like you get a surprise attack as well, which is important, but sorry, not to skip over that, but it would seem as though what it's looking like at this point is that you have to charge up the ability to use your Mega Evolution, or at least to be able to use these moves. It seems like it's going to potentially be both, which is interesting, because not every Pokemon has a Mega Evolution. So how that's going to work, we're going to see here. And the surprise attack, I think, is a good idea. I love that. You know, it's something that they brought back. But these two scenes, that last one, this one, have a ton of information. You're able to run away, right, from a battle, which is interesting, or you're able to try to, or maybe that just allows you to run around in the battle. I don't really know for sure. But Diggersby has that C+, right? You can see this whole meter is charged up. But what you will see is that there's no like flashing here for the Mega Evolution. So I don't think you're going to be able to Mega Evolve Diggersby. I'd be pretty surprised by that in this case. You can also, again, see the type effectiveness for all of this stuff here. And you can see the Dig does not have a C+ next to it, probably because this is the last move that it has gotten, and it hasn't, you know, used it enough to, I guess, maybe level up to that C+, whatever that is. Another portion up here. Now, and this is where my theory about the yellow area, I wouldn't say comes into play, but is something that, you know, I can consider at least, is that you've got this yellow exclamation point. Maybe that is where the yellow areas are, or maybe that's just a quest because you have the little flag next to it as well. But those are just things that are, you know, kind of worth pointing out here. You're also going to be able to dodge moves, which I think is crazy, right? So just like you could, right? Yeah, you used Dig there. It's going to make these moves really powerful because it's a real-time kind of action game more now. So, you know, instead of trying to set it up, in a turn-based system, you'll be trying to dodge it by just being quicker and then, being able to use the damage. Also, confirmation that we've seen a couple times, but, the shared XP is back for sure. Okay, then we got a little bit of stuff here that a lot of people have been talking about as well. So let's go back to... There we go. So, a couple of things here. I thought this was interesting just for fun. Just a little board there to get across, which is funny. But you got to push in the right stick to be able to use Mega Evolution. We know Alakazam Mega Evolves. Notice that there is a difference, right, between this Pokemon and this one. Look, what is missing? The R, the right stick push in button to Mega Evolve. Diggersby is not getting a Mega Evolution, guys. It's just not. So you don't need to worry about it. If it had that marking, then maybe it could. Or maybe it will, and you just don't have the Mega Stone for it. I don't really know. But what I do know is that it's very obvious to me that, this is going to be kind of the mechanic that we're going to end up using. So let's continue on here. There's like another like split second here. All right, yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm intrigued by a couple things. The first is you can see again, I don't know what's going on with the psychic symbol here. It's interesting. I didn't even notice that before. Maybe they changed the way that the psychic symbol looks for this game. But you can see what an interesting little building here. It looks like a tree with a house. Maybe it's just a place that you can stay or go inside. I don't know for sure. You also have what looks to be that shopping mart area, behind you. So like, looks like in this way somewhere. So, there's that area that they've shown a few times where you go inside. It's like the glass top basically, and you're able to buy clothes. So it looks like you'll be able to buy a bunch of different clothing options. A lot of people have been wondering about that, hoping for that. It looks like it's going to end up happening. So congratulations, for those of you who really like to. Generally, I don't really care to dress up my characters that much, but that'll still be cool.
Evolution, some Pokemon can power up even more.
So this is a better look at it. I forgot that you get to see this, but nothing too crazy here. Still confused about the psychic symbol, but the rest of this is great. Nothing crazy there. We get the name of the female character for the first time here as Harmony. I believe that is the other one like Paxton or something like that. I don't know. But then we have up here, right? So we talked about the tickets. You've earned your challenger's ticket. So you have to do enough battles to earn a challenger's ticket. It looks like, because we are at the max amount. Maybe that's why I thought it was max. And once you get to, your rank is Z here. And so you have to face Zach. Looks like maybe they do that for each one. That's kind of creative where each name is, going to work your way up to it. You've got the Z to the A Royale promotional match battle zone. So you'll be able to see, it looks like on a screen, where you're at, how much more you need to get to before you can do your promotional match.
Rank Z and
also, here, I gotta point this out as well. We're getting Gen 8 Pokemon at least. That is the Boltund symbol that I remember seeing plenty of in Galar. So Boltund confirmed for the game with this one? I don't know, but you're at least gonna probably have at a minimum mentioning of Gen 8 Pokemon. I think that this personally confirms that there will be at least Gen 8 Pokemon in this game. We're still unsure about 9, but that means that even some Gen 7 Pokemon, for those of you who loved Gen 7, are going to be available as well, most likely.
And work your way up.
And then you can rank up to Y, so you can go from Z all the way to A. I love that this guy wants to eliminate all other travel than just taxis. I wonder if that means we're going to get like a subway or something else, flying potentially. He wants to get rid of it, but taxis will only be part of it. And this is early game. So you get a wish. Yeah, so you get a wish as well, which will be interesting. This person just wants to have a marathon. What a way to really, spice things up there with your wish. A lot of wishes that you could do. Weird one there. But Yvonne, it looks like this will be the Y trainer potentially for you to have to beat. I want to point out as well that the obelisk has some interesting markings on it. They almost kind of look like Hoopa markings. So not going to say that that's what it is for sure, but that's what it reminds me of personally. All right, looks like, this is just you getting ready to train. This is maybe the way that they keep track of how many wins you have so that you know when you can have that promotional match. And then we get Clauncher here fighting the Fletchender. So nothing too crazy at the end here. And Talonflame into the Halucha. You can still see the red areas in the back here. Trying to see if there's anything else that's really crazy. A lot of people are theorizing that AZ is going to be who's going to be at the very top, the one who grants the wish with the, the Floette. So that could be that as well. You can see again these markings. Like I think that these designate which parts of town you're in. This is must be a later part of the game. Since we have the Zygarde form here that they've shown multiple times. The last big thing here is this. This little energy here. Is this Diancie? Is this another Mega Evolution? Is this the new A Pokemon that people are talking about instead of the Z-A Pokemon? Or, the Z for Zygarde. So, that's really what we are looking at. There's so many details that were in these 3 minutes. I hope that you guys found this to be helpful. I think that there's just a lot more that's going to be coming for this game. And it seems like we're going to get more trailers. Again, there are rumors and leaks dropping of the Mega Evolutions. I guess the last thing that I will put in here is there's a rumor that there are 26 Mega Evolutions. There are 26 letters in the alphabet, obviously. You got to work your way from Z to A. I am wondering, personally, if this means that we will get a Mega Stone after we've defeated each of the levels of trainers for the 26 new Mega Evolutions. I'm not going to say that that's it for sure. I'm going to have a theory video that comes out about how you are going to get Mega Stones in the game. So I hope that you guys, again, will subscribe so you don't miss stuff like that that will be coming out here soon. But that is going to wrap it up for us on this one. So thank you for watching. And with that, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.